Bonjour, I am Cendrine, the founder and leader of the Golden Age Spiritual Ministry. Together, we learn about the embodiment of our multidimensionality so we can reclaim our full sovereignty in this beautiful reality. My High Council and I are happy to welcome you into our movement of spiritual revolution. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new transmissions. Thank you for liking, commenting below and sharing this video. Show us your love.
Today, our ascension journey is going to take us to very high frequency information. So this information, I have just started sharing it with my existing students in the Pont-Allen Area School of Channeling. And in the next few months, we're going to go deep on this in all the live transmissions, trance channeling sessions, and mentoring session, because this is revolutionary. I wish I had known that before, to be honest, but this human consciousness simply was not ready, and the information coming was too high frequency for humanity. Because remember that one pillar of my mission is to teach the embodiment of our multidimensionality. And I went deep on that in my life already around embodying certain galactic connection and aspects and past lives gifts and, mediumship, psychic abilities, oracular predictions and so on. But there was always more and more refinement coming in the fractal dynamic system, the body of work that I channel, that is coming at new levels, deeper and deeper and deeper, refining these extraordinary downloads and body of work that I'm sharing with you during this challenge, all my programs and all my transmissions. And so receiving this is very life-changing. And I just want to share with you, like when I was, really, when I decided basically to give it all to my mission, to move from just being massage therapist and yoga teacher and doing like psychic reading to actually focusing exclusively on my spiritual offering, that was a huge quantum leap, right? Because like massage and yoga, it's great. It already gives me a lot of connection, to working with people, to helping with people. That was kind of my launching platform, if you want. But I knew it was never that. I knew that my spiritual gift were that, yet I had no idea how I could live from it. I could, make money, pay the bills, but also be taken seriously, like not being an imposter. So I moved through all of these guys, like big times. And so when I was in this transition, what was really missing was mentoring. And it was not necessarily mentoring from other people, but it was mentoring from me, from advanced versions of me that knew me to perfection because they are me, and that you also knew my mission to perfection because the mission is me, we are the mission as one. So I was living in a box. And I know that you will relate to this. It's like I had this kind of sense that my identity had been programmed, had been defined. I had been living for like 35, 40 years, like as that human who had this kind of like challenges and density, who had that linearity, the wounds from divorced parents, massive father wounds of abandonment, like broken heart, scarcity, like all of the things. So basically my linearity was defining me still, even though I was doing a lot of shadow work, a lot of inner child work, and continuously, I was there with my feelings, journaling, I was doing all the things. And I was doing all the things, and I know that you can relate to this, and type in the comments if you relate to this. It's like you do all the things, and you know that by doing all the things, you progress, but it's so freaking slow. It's never ending. And I was like, oh my goodness, like it's gonna take me at least like 50 lifetimes doing this work because it's just so much. And not only am I processing all of this horizontal line of inner child, past life, ancestors timeline from kind of like the past, if you want, but these humans keep being so imperfect that I'm gonna have to repair the damage I'm doing to myself and my life as my future self. And I was like stuck into this this template. Yes, I love that you relate to this, right? Oh, thank you, Danielle. Yes, indeed, I was working with you. Yeah, we change. We change the way we ascend when we work with me. That's for sure. Yes. So I love this question, Pam. I might address this later, but it's a little bit outside of this transmission when we channel with other people. We can go deep on that if you want to join the semi-private mentoring tomorrow, or as well the program portal. We go very deep into that. I will see if it comes in as you've placed it in the field, if we can kind of address it during the transmission. Excellent. Yeah, time to relax and release tension. That's amazing. It's amazing. Yes, celebrating awareness of the situation. Kata, to join the semi-private mentoring, I'm going to send you the link here, so you're going to receive it directly. Okay, great. Shamak So even though I was connecting with my spirit guides, right? I was still not fully aware that it was a high council of light. I did not have those concepts. And my spirit guides, they started, as I developed more and more of my psychic abilities, they started having different appearance, different frequency. But to start with, I just could see them as angels, because like my consciousness would perceive non-physical beings of the light as angels. And then all of a sudden had like blue bodies, and they were green, and some had wings, some were animals of powers. And so the more I was doing psychic sessions for other people and quantum healing, the more I was doing that for others, the more my gift came online. That is also another key that I want you to realize for your soul mission. The more you embody your soul mission, the more it comes online. So waiting to know what to do is actually stretching the timeline. Procrastination is never going to end. You need align actions. You need to embody your soul mission, even if you're not sure what it is. What you're already doing are going to be legs within it. You are developing codex. Because, for example, massage therapy, that I'm not doing that. I don't think I would ever do that anymore. But it was a pathway that was fully embedded in my soul mission, because I was in close proximity with the energetic field, the body of people, for years onwards, days after days after days. So I was downloading so much about them. This is really how I realized there's really a lot going on here for me, because no one else of my massage therapist friends are experiencing that. The other thing is that when I was teaching yoga, in Shavasana, when everybody lie down, I instantly started receiving the instruction to stretch it, to make it as long as possible, like over 5 to 10 minutes. And what I could see as I was sitting there, because my Shavasana is silence, or like music that has no voice, because that's the instruction is like the less input available. So what happens is that everybody's spirit guide can work on them. So I would sit there and see in the Shavasana, I would naturally open up portals and ask spirit guide to come and work on the people. I was not really aware of what was going on, what I was doing, but if I had not said yes to becoming a yoga teacher, to become a massage therapist, I would not have developed my gift. So what are you not doing because you think it's not fully related to your mission, yet you are interested in learning and doing? These are going to be part of that. So embody more of your joy and interest, train yourself. Especially if you join me, you train for your channeling abilities with precision. So it's less waffling around. It is way more directed because you know the direction that you need to take. So I was still in a box though, because the human kept on processing the same things. And even though it felt lighter, I was oscillating a lot. And there was this frustration because it's like, it's never the thing. I want to be doing the thing. What is the thing? I don't even know, but I'm just going to be devoted and going to ask and going to show up with consistency and courage. And so this is what I did. So when my mom passed away after a horrible 9 months of, illness, when she passed away, I was given this great gift of having the opportunity to really review my life and to really see where am I placing my energy, my time, and my money, but mostly, what is this box that I am? What is this human that I am now? I don't feel that I can become who I came here to be, being the way I am, but I don't want to hate myself either. So it's like, I just could not find a thing. And so when COVID started, just a few months after my mom passed away, to me, it was literally God sending it to me, like as a gift, you know, because I had like, no one can see me, you know, I have to stay inside. So I stopped massaging, I stopped teaching yoga, and I went full on for my spiritual mission. This is when the Arcturians started contacting me. I did a few like psychic healing sessions before lockdowns, and then bam, I was trance channeling. So I started training with the Arcturians, and my life changed forever. A few months later, I started downloading fractal fractal dynamic system, and it kept on amplifying. I would just spend hours in trance state, hours downloading, writing, recording. And that's all that I did. And this is how I went from being a box to becoming a conscious fractal, a fractal consciousness of my multidimensional network. And all of this that I'm teaching, it comes from my channel. Yes, like we pick up on information from other people, things that we have read, you know, amazing people, that spiritual teachers or mentors that have placed things in the field, but we developed on that, and that like the body of work anchors its leg. So from that day on, there was no more frustration. There was only excitement and satisfaction to wake up every day to ground what it is that I'm here to ground, which is embodying it and teaching it, because who teaches learns twice, right? So often I receive epic downloads, I play with it for a while, but then I am called to share. This is why it's great to have programs, you know? This is why that, you know, I have so many different places to share codes, because in the portal, this is where I share the most recent downloads. This is where I share really the highest level of frequency of channeling and transformation that we can bring into our life. You know, Iria School of Channeling is a different codex, as well as Ascension Channel program to learn to facilitate channeling sessions. But really the portal is like the baseline to amplify our channeling abilities and really receive high frequency content. So this box, what is this box? This box is literally banging our head against different aspects of who we are, not knowing how to reconcile it. And so we move from being in a box, in a specific frame, which is the 4D bridge of always, you know, going like, you know, we never know where it ends. We move into the architecture of being more like a fractal at the center point. And so I illustrate it with the round and a point in the middle. And here is the thing. When we really learn to embody the angel that we are, to place our consciousness within our heart portal, we actually embody consciousness, we embody God, we embody the observer. So we need to be the observer of what is arising. So as an observer, as an angel of my human, I observe, oh, all of this is coming up to the surface, bubbles again. Oh, great, I'm observing. The observer has no judgment. I'm simply observing. And then the observer also observes other voices present within this human. So this current fractal human is a multidimensional human. So multidimensional means that we have a microcosm here and a macrocosm there. So my microcosm is everything that's inside of me. My macrocosm is everything that's outside of me. I am a fractal, yet, but this fractal is part of a bigger fractal, my oversoul network. My oversoul network has also within itself many different aspects of my advanced consciousness. I have Arcturian consciousness, a lot of Arcturian codes. This is why it's so easy to trance channel. I do not trance channel Arcturians from out there. I trance channel me. I trance channel me. I just speak differently because I speak from my Arcturian frequency. Okay? Within my oversoul network, there's also massive dragon codes. If you have noticed, like, raw, let's go for it, piercing force of creation. There's also Syrian, super geeky, analytic. There's also Andromedan, architecture of life. I also co-create with Palladian and Blue Avians. And I have many, many other codes in me. So yeah, it's great. It's so exciting to get to know these different aspects of our fractal. This is what we learn to channel in my program, the Portal, right? We channel different aspects because my aspect on Arcturus is very advanced in trance channeling, in witnessing all the systems. So if I trance channel my Arcturian, if I do sessions for people, if I mentor my students, we scan the field and it goes like this, tung, 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 like super fast. Super fast. We scan physical, mental, emotional, spiritual system, horizontal line, multidimensional network, connection with alternate realities, parallel. It's like a dashboard, poof, like this. And so this is so exciting because I'm not a box anymore. Like I'm a freaking multidimensional consciousness that can observe different aspects of my multidimensional network operating simultaneously. And I'm still, even though this is something that I'm practicing a lot, it's part of my blueprint, this is what I'm here to teach in the embodiment of it, it's only starting. Hathor is the boss of that. This is why I'm mentored by Hathor so closely. So we work in this transmission today with this current fractal, okay? And we are going to witness that this current fractal has many different versions of yourself. So I would love for you to, feel into the field now. Like at times you wake up in the morning and you know that the day ahead is going to be great. You have all of these awesome things planned and it's sunny outside and you have a good night of sleep. You feel refreshed. You feel therefore like you are aligned to your soul. You have all of this, inspiration, this energy. When you go outside, you smile at people. The world is like the best place ever. You're so happy to be alive and you cannot wait to live this day, right? That's a version of you. Then this version of you goes along, and then what happens at lunchtime is like this, like you need to go to your appointment that you're very excited about, but yet you go out and there is a flat tire. Oh no, the car has a flat tire. Poof, you switch in another version of yourself. No way. Why is it a flat tire? Why is God sending this to me now? I must have done something bad in a past life to deserve a flat tire now. It's like, why this? Maybe it's the planet. Oh, it's the planet, And then things come up to the surface and you're like, I'm not aligned anymore. I'm trying to receive guidance of why this is happening and no one is answering me. I feel so alone, so unsupported. And then you manage to go to your appointment and all of a sudden, because you connected to that version of yourself that was like doubting herself, doubting her light, doubting the support of the universe because of the flat tire, then the appointment with your, like maybe it's a date, it's like a first date. It's like, oh, actually I was very excited with this guy, but no, I see him like he's not so good. And then at the end of the day, you're like, eating ice cream in front of the screen because, why was I so happy? What's wrong with me? And so on. It's like, and so during the day, you literally experienced 5-10 different versions of you, and so we go on with our day like this. And the box means thinking always the same way. It's literally, you can feel the thoughts bouncing like this, like a tennis game, boom, boom. And you have this thought and that thought and this thought and that thought, and then they take you here and then take you there. It's very much like as you're in the headspace, you are on wild horses and these wild horses take you everywhere and you're like holding on to the mane for dear life, like I'm gonna crash, I'm gonna die, and I'm not gonna fulfill my purpose, I'm such a bad person, So today's transmission, what we're going to do is like, okay, we're going to let go of the mane and we're going to be this wild woman. Yeah, I'm flying on the horse. I'm the Pegasus. I'm the dragon. I'm literally the one holding the reins of the chariot. I'm the one holding the reins. And as I'm leading the chariot, I see that there is not one horse going crazy in my head. There's actually 12 of them and I can direct my attention to each and every single one of them and command them to trot at a perfect rhythm, so I lead them and no one lead them. The mind is an amazing, amazing servant. Once you learn how to handle the mind, you can do anything you want, but it's a very bad boss. So in today's transmission, we're going to connect to versions of us through witnessing the fractal human present, experiencing life. And here, I would love to invite you curiosity and excitement in the field. I always share this with my students, when there is really a box present, so the mind is like, dung, 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 I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, invite curiosity. Because with curiosity is literally not banging against subconscious programming, trying to mantra things out, or like being all love and light, when actually things need to be addressed. You need to present certain things for your human. So when you're curious, the mind has literally to shut up, because like, I really want to develop my channeling abilities. And you feel the excitement and you're like, I think I can do it. It takes 5 seconds. That's actually, neuroscience, 5 seconds for the mind to come with a bunch of very good reasons why you should never invest time, energy, and money in channeling. 5 seconds for the mind to say no, to keep you in the box, because that is safe. It's where you belong. Fuck that box. Let's burn it down. Let's connect to dragon energy there. So what happens is that when we witness the magnetic desire, and then when we witness the mind going like boom, 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 invite curiosity. Write this down. Be curious. Say to your mind, I'm actually really curious to know and to feel how far I can go with my channeling abilities. This girl, like this woman, Cendrine, she says that I can channel advanced galactic beings, that I can channel advanced version of myself, that I have a bigger purpose. And actually, I feel like it resonates with me. I'm really curious to see how I can embody more of that, how I can learn more of that. And because you see, there is curiosity, there is not yet decision-making, there is curiosity, there is a relaxation that happens through your nervous system. You breathe in that and you let it be. What happens is that the box can no longer be a box. It opens up to new possibilities because there's no more confrontation. When we are in confrontation with ourselves, we are in the third and fourth dimension of separation. I am not allowed to be like this. I'm not allowed to think like that. And I will always be like this. I will always be like that. Invite curiosity. When I was becoming trained by the Arcturians, all of a sudden I realized that the visions that I have had since I was a little girl were that. I never knew what those visions of me going like this in front of thousands of people, where I was like, I'm doing some bizarre things and it's changing the life of thousands of people. I have no idea what it is. And I don't think it's even me, because I was not identifying with that versions of me at all. I had no connection point with that version of me, but it would come and pop into my awareness every now and then. So when I started trance channeling, I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing. But the Arcturians showed me very well that it's not because you're activated in your gift that you embody that timeline fully yet, because your gifts are going to activate frequency shift inside of you, so you can elevate your frequency and your consciousness to be a match to the timelines of your highest mission. So you are training with your soul. You are training with advanced version of you. You are training with your channel, your channeling abilities. This is why, it's like a 12-month program in the portal. This is why we train to reach mastery. Like it is really, I find it quite bizarre. I was dating this guy who's a teacher at university, and we are having this conversation, and I find so bizarre that people are okay to, so here in New Zealand, people take loans, like sometimes like $60,000 of student loan to study something at university that they will never use after. And for them, it's normal to spend that amount of money to spend 5 years at university. But yet, when I mention like, you know, the investment for my program, and that I actually think like 1 year is very little into the span of like training for channeling ability, people think it's crazy. It's like, why? You actually need this more than a freaking qualification from an updated university that you're never going to use anyway, because it's going to be obsolete very fast. So when you train your channel on the other way, it's never be obsolete. It's going to always be the latest version of you. So it's very interesting to observe, you know, like we have been conditioned for like spending, you know, so much money on, you know, like loan, student loan, and, you know, like also buying houses and having this huge mortgage, but yet investing in yourself is like poop. It's like, no, thank you. That's also part of the box. So my Arcturian team started teaching me to co-create with other versions of me. And since then, it has deepened and deepened and deepened. Because to start with, what happened? And this is what I shared during the last channeling challenge, because now it's new, especially this transmission, completely new. So I learned to channel through linearity, because that was what my consciousness could comprehend. Okay, so I would channel a future me in like 30 years, and then zoom it back to 20 years, to 10 years, to 5 years, to 3 years, to 1 year, to now 6 months. And so I was then trained to connect this more advanced version of me, this future self who had already, you know, created what I was here to create and receive information. And that was fantastic, because it taught me this multidimensional work of, you know, collapsing timeline from quantum leaping. But that was only through a certain linearity. As the year passed, more and more, the architecture of, you know, our joined reality shifted into an accelerated way, into allowing more of the 5th dimension to 7th dimension to be present in the field. So I started tapping into that. And higher and higher, like ninth dimension. So this transmission is 9th dimension transmission, because here, what I'm going to teach my students in the Portal and Iria School of Channeling, the next intake, is to co-create with versions of selves that are me, but they have no connection point to the same linearity. So it means that recently, for the last 3 months, I have been co-creating with me, with a linearity that is radically different. So my parents are the same parents, my siblings are the same siblings, but they never divorced, they never hated each other. We were extremely wealthy. They were both fully aligned to their soul mission. And they were the 2nd generation that had ascended from the 3rd dimension. So my grandparents, in that version of me, basically after the war, First World War, they started activating a new timeline. They're saying like, no more ever again. So basically they fucking got the message. After killing each other, let's do something differently. So you see, like, that's an alternate version of selves that is way more advanced. So what happened is that this version is the 7th dimensional me. I have also connected with the 9th dimensional me, and then the 11th dimensional me. So I have different perspective, and each of these different versions of me train my consciousness to consciously co-create with them at each and every moment, so I know what to embody. So not only do I direct the round table in my headspace to embody the highest level of frequency that I am in this current physicality, I now have access to the frequency that is present in my cells, in my, you know, network of the quality that these versions have experienced. So especially these versions residing in 7th dimension, she has been helping me decode and deprogram, guys, like scarcity templates, divine union templates, abandonment templates that were so embedded in me because it's my linearity in this lifetime. So this is why I'm continuously looping and healing and healing and healing. But that linearity was completely different because my ancestor already had done the healing work. So what was left was very minimal. So when I talk about scarcity, she's like, I don't even know what it is. I've never experienced it. And no one around me has ever experienced scarcity. Imagine being able to consciously channel something like that. It is not in her blueprint. And then she merges with me and I can feel all of this. Like, so it's like tiny ropes connection point going like boom, ping, ping, everything being dismantled until there is less and less and less and less of this linear identity. And so they say it goes to the extent that, you know, like your memory, you will be able to receive imprints and memories of that timeline that version of me has experienced. And so now I see my parents, and I'm emotional when I say this, I see my parents being together. My mom is still alive. My dad and I are not estranged. On the other end, we go spend months together in India because we love it. And I do all of these things. And I have these images popping of us traveling here, of us traveling there, of my current donors being very different as well because of this linearity. Isn't it exciting? Type yes in the comment if you find this exciting. This is the pathway of ascension that you embark on when you become my student, right? Yes. I love this, Angie. Fuck that box, let's burn it down. Yes. Thank you, thank you. Awesome, I love this. I love that it resonates with you. Yes, so this is what I signed up for. So since downloading, you know, this fractal dynamic system, being trained by so many aspects of me and my galactic team and so on, it's like life is literally the best playground that I could have, because it gets so delicious to be able to not only practice this and embody this, but to actually see where it's going to take me. So I'm very curious to see what this human is going to be up to in 6 months and 1 year and 10 years, now that I'm embodying more of that. Because as I embody more of what I share, what I receive through my own channel, I quantum leap very fast. And here I want to already dismantle also some tension that we perceive in the field around how exhausting and challenging ascension is. Because, you know, we need to integrate, and there is so much coming. It's like, oh my God, you know, like after, you know, receiving from this, receiving from that, receiving from that, it's been really challenging. I know we have, you know, a lot of people experiencing this. When we train this way, it's not happening like this, because it is emerging with us. It is not picking on someone else's way of doing something, which forces us to use a lot of energy to apply something that is not really us, if you understand what I mean. It's like trying to plug into the field of someone else to receive, you know, how much they can do, but it's not where we need to plug. We need to plug here. And so, yes, what we do as you receive this transmission is delivering like this, but it is to bring you back at you, bring you back, connect to your channel, connect to your own way, channel your body, channel your heart, channel your future versions of self, channel your galactic team, channel for you and your mission and your family, you know, and your parents and your beloved and your friends. You can channel for all of that. This is the most empowering sovereign pathway of evolution that one can take. This is why I'm so passionate about it. So from being stuck into a box and reclaiming our multidimensionality, it brings this sense of playfulness. And let's be honest, who can identify with being a very serious light worker? I know that this woman can. You know, my Victorians are like, stop being so serious, little human. Life is a game. And I'm like, oh, you don't have a body. You know, it's like, exactly. This is why we say this, you know. Life is a game. Just drop the seriousness, find a playfulness in it, embrace everything from the observer, because then therefore the charge reduces. There's more energy, there's more time, there is more money flowing in when there is space. So here is some quantum teachings we want to share very fast. No time to go deep into this. You know, like, we already know that we create a reality. That's something that's not there. But what happens is that we can create from the past, from outdated carbon-based DNA, our third dimension and four-dimensional matrix system, or we can flip the equation and create from advanced version of ourselves and golden architecture of the higher realm, so fifth dimension and above. When we are oscillating like this, like a pendulum of feeling good, feeling disconnected, feeling separated, feeling a unified field. It's like, you see, the pendulum swings, so there is not really a set point for creation. Therefore, things slow down and it becomes murky. And so the manifestation of, it's not even manifestation, it's like the embodiment, the coding and the anchoring of our highest timeline of highest destiny, it's kind of slowing down because we're swinging like this. So what they say here is that being a quantum being is realizing that if we observe the swinging effect, we are not it. It is very important to realize you are not the pendulum. You are not that version or that version or that version. When you observe, you are the consciousness. And as the consciousness, you therefore feel into the alignment of the myriads of expression of yourself that can bring different timelines. So as you observe, as the consciousness, you can give voice to an aspect of yourself that is very exacerbated right now, that like the wounded inner child, for example. And you can choose to sit. You create space, you sit, inner child healing. But you are not that. You are the consciousness observing an aspect of this current fractal. So when we move from a box to a fractal, right? It's just consciousness. We are always a fractal, but it's just the way we see, perceive life, right? So in this fractal here, we have access to many, many different versions of us. Okay, so like it's a very poor representation, if you get it. That is the center point of our fractal. This is our heart center. When we place ourselves there, we are the angel of our human. We are the consciousness observing different aspects. So here we talk about this current fractal. When we go into advanced channeling, we can go into the fractal of our oversoul network and witness like past lives, ancient civilizations, galactic connection, dragon connection, and so on. But now we are applying this here now into this fractal. So this fractal can see this is a very, very loud version of me. And this very loud version of me speaks a lot. So they're like, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? You are not worthy of being a powerful channel. And then we observe another version of us who is very angry with that. How dare you say, how come can I think about it like me, like me about this, about myself like this? How come can I still be present? And this version is not so much judgmental, but is an angry version. And this angry version is also angry against other people. There is even sometimes hint of bit of jealousy, but to love and light, nothing against that person, but so some judgment. At times, we observe a version of us that is like, I've had enough of this life. I just want to eat the ice cream and stay and watch Bridgerton, on repeat for the rest of my life because I find a bit of repulse. Like, it's so nice, I can, rest watching Bridgerton. It's like, I'm never gonna make a difference. So like this really tamasic, like stuck frequency, very exacerbated frequency. And so you get what I mean, right? There are so many voices. All of these versions of you sit around a round table. That is your round table. This round table is the headspace. The headspace literally has, so the purpose of the headspace is literally to bring voice to the different versions of you. So the headspace is going to find the electric impulse present and bring voice to it. And so the headspace rules like havoc because we are not at the center point of a fractal. We are not the observer of all the versions of us speaking different languages. So a lot of us are exhausted because at times we feel very aligned. So here is an interesting aspect that we want to deconstruct. You are always aligned. We've already said that. You never separate it. Only when you feel it, It is because you have a connection with your heart center that is really palpable. You feel alive. You feel connected to your soul because you vibrate at a level of frequency which has joy and love and connection and freedom and abundance. When you don't feel that, you think you are disconnected and separated from your soul, separated from your intuition, separated from your channel, because you are in a process, because life is freaking intense, because your neighbor this, because other people that zap your energy, because of psychic attack and so on. And so therefore you think you're not connected. No, 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 no. You are still connected. You are still channeling. Only you are channeling these different aspects. This is